This is the only picture we have of the world's first and last supersonic transport aircraft. It's called the Concorde, and for this picture to be taken, the plane crew had to slow down from flying at twice the speed of sound to around 1.3 times the speed of sound, so that a Royal Air Force fighter jet could catch up and take it. This is the type of technology the aviation industry had around 25 or 30 years ago. Unfortunately, today we no longer have it. The reason behind this is what we call FOD, or foreign object debris, which is a common problem airports face on their runways. This is one out of many challenges airports face today. You can imagine what happens when this gets ingested inside the jet engine. This is your typical jet engine. It costs tens of millions of dollars. And just one tiny FOD damaging an engine fan blade could cost around $50,000. Out of many problems the industry faces, some of them are still carried from around 50 years ago up until today. And one very common problem is the lack of technology inside the airports. The main reason behind this is that the industry is generally scared of adopting new stuff because of the regulation and the safety factors that are considered in the industry. This is why around 5 years ago, I decided to start my own company. My name is Ziad. I'm an aerospace engineer. And together with a couple of friends, I decided to start a company that's focused on computer vision or AI solutions for airports. It wasn't the best time to start a tech company because of COVID, the pandemic. It's history now, but the first industry that was damaged because of COVID was aviation, and the last to recover was aviation. I'm sure some of you are familiar with the challenges of launching a tech startup. It's one of the hardest things ever a human being can do. In fact, most tech companies fail within the first 12 months. And some of the reasons behind that are people are generally scared of doing things. They are afraid of getting outside their comfort zone. Some of us are perfectionists, which means that we want to spend a lot of time trying to perfect something, while in reality the best way to learn is to do things. I find that there's a general pattern when we try to do hard things. According to Andrew Huberman, he's an American neuroscientist and podcaster, there's a part in our brain, and this is a super cool story, that's called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. It's a part in the brain that grows when we do hard things. So when we leave the stock today and we try to do hard things over a sustained period of time, our brain gets bigger. And the opposite is true. When we avoid doing hard things, this part in the brain gets smaller. So I find this fascinating because we're living in a time where technology is making hard things just a bit easier. So if you're a student today, you have access to information much faster at a much accurate rate. If you're a software developer, you can now use AI to help you build better code, faster code, and the list goes on and on. So that's why I think today is the best time of our lifetime to be doing hard things. I'd like to share a personal story. When I started my company, I had a dinner with a person that was supposed to be an advisor. And at the end of the dinner, I have a habit of asking people if you can give me one single piece of advice that I will remember for life. And his advice, he said, your company is going to fail because it needs a better CEO. I wake up every morning reminding myself of this story, not because I feel a victim, but I try to remind myself of how can I become a better CEO for my company so that me and my team, we can do things better and faster that could impact the industry. Another thing that I mentioned at the beginning of the talk was COVID. It was very hard to imagine when is COVID going to end and its impact on humanity. Now it's history. Among the many stressors we encounter as founders of tech companies is running out of money. A typical successful tech company experiences 3 to 4 times before it becomes successful. And statistically, 90% of startups fail after 3 years. So To me, this is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, and it has been one of the biggest factors of growth and change I've experienced. One thing I would like to leave you with that I built over the years of building my company, it's not an advice, it's an advice on how to take advice. Anytime anyone giving you an advice, try to check for the following 3 factors. 1, they have skin in the game, so they've experienced or they have knowledge about the topic they're giving you advice in. The second one is context. They have awareness, they have the knowledge of the situation you're in. And the third one is incentive. They care for you. When these things are present, these 3 things are present, you typically have very good advice. And last, I'd like to leave you with my favorite quote: hard choices, easy life; easy choices, hard life. Thank you.